So over the last couple of years, I had the privilege of leading a group of faculty and students here at BU and a team of consultants to assess the technical options available to the city of Boston to enable it to reach its goal of being carbon neutral by 2050. And we focused on a wide range of, or every aspect of city life, but I'm going to talk about one in particular today, and that is buildings and how to decarbonize the city's buildings, and in particular dive into a social equity aspect of actually doing that. So here are the results for the building sector. The vertical axis is greenhouse gas emissions from the city's buildings out to 2050. Relative to a baseline, the top line there, deep cuts in emissions come with that first orange drop there, with city action that requires all new construction to be net zero, and action that drives the adoption of deep energy efficiency measures such as whole building retrofits. The second strategy is thermal electrification, which refers to the replacement of boilers and furnaces burning natural gas with heat pumps, with heat pumps and boilers that run on electricity. The drop in emissions represented by the dark blue arrow there is caused by electrification of thermal services with a regional grid that is 80% free of GHGs by 2050 as required by state law. And then the final drop there, the gray, is the city could go out and procure renewable energy like BU is doing, or the wind energy, and get to an effectively 100% clean supply of electricity. There are still some residual emissions with buildings that are very hard to electrify. So we assessed a lot of the technical issues and economic issues associated with this. But I want to focus, as I mentioned, on equity issues. How do you decarbonize these buildings in a socially equitable manner? Boston is a majority-minority city in which 1 in 5 people live below the federal poverty level and where the cost of living is in the stratosphere. Very low-income households pay 25% of their monthly income for fuel and electricity, and every winter many households face eat or heat decisions. Type of ownership also is important. Shown here is a map of the city's neighborhoods, and we showed about 22,000 out of 260,000 households in the city. Shown in orange are 16,000 buildings in what are called hard-to-retrofit buildings. These are buildings that are renter-occupied, they're multifamily, and they are households with incomes below the city's median income. Those are hard to retrofit for a variety of reasons. Shown in green are 6,500 single-family homes that have a median income above the city median and are owner-occupied. These are easier to retrofit. Neighborhoods with the highest concentration of harder-to-retrofit homes, Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan, East Boston, parts of Hyde Park, Mission Hill, coincide very closely with the neighborhoods with the highest concentrations of socially vulnerable populations. The pattern is simple. Many socially vulnerable families live in buildings that are hard to retrofit. The ones who need it the most are the hardest to reach. We describe in our report the benefits that accrue to energy efficiency, and there are a lot of them, and they accrue disproportionately, if properly designed, to socially vulnerable populations. Energy cost savings generated by efficiency preserves housing affordability and reduces energy security. Energy efficient buildings are healthy buildings because they reduce indoor air pollutants and other contaminants, and energy efficiency is a relatively labor-intensive industry, so there's a real opportunity for workforce development. So in our report, and you can get copies of the reports at the ISE website, we have a technical report summary and a social equity report. We describe how this is a real opportunity for the city through intentional design, which it requires, to incorporate equity from the start in its path to becoming a carbon neutral city. Thanks.